Hello, it's been a long time, but I'm back. This is going to be my video review of Speed Racer. Right, so Speed Racer is a mixture of live actors and CGI sets, backgrounds, effects, kind of in the style of Sin City. It's based on a 1960s anime. It follows the story of the young Speed Racer. That's actually his name. The surname is Racer, the Racer family. He's called Speed. Yeah, convenience, I know. The story's simple and it's predictable, but at least it's entertaining and it's done with a sense of humour. Where the film really shines though is in its visuals. It's just really creative in its use of editing, its use of digital compositions. One aspect I particularly liked was the editing. Often someone like a face would come up on screen and would kind of wipe across the screen, and as they wiped then it would cut to the next cut, kind of wiping across like they do in Star Wars, but with actually a person kind of controlling it. And then in some instances they'd walk back and it would change back to the previous scene. I just thought that was just really clever and a really good way of doing things. Something I noticed with that, it kind of looked like that person was kind of out on top of the screen instead of behind, which is kind of a bit odd, but I think it would have worked really well as a 3D film. I don't think there's a 3D version at the IMAX, but I think that would have been excellent. It kind of screamed out to be converted to 3D. Okay, so the racing itself was excellent. It was really fast-paced, imaginative. I mean, there's all these crazy loops and crazy twists and turns in the tracks, and they're kind of fighting side by side in the cars. It's just really energetic, and it was really well pulled off with the CGI as well. I mean, I don't want to say it didn't look unbelievable, because the kind of art style of everything it's a crazy anime style. But everything you saw on screen was completely believable within the realms of the film. It didn't look like people animation, kind of two separate things. It really did come together really well as a whole. Something that also impressed me about the film was the kind of racial integration and the fluidity of cultures that's in the film. Now, you see this kind of thing in The Matrix a little bit, which was also directed by the Wachowski brothers. But here it really is kind of a multicultural film. Okay, the main characters are a white middle-class American family, but the Korean pop star Rain gets a lot of screen time and he's excellent. The chief mechanic is Australian. There's lots of British people in there, although they're kind of stereotypically villains. And also the kind of legendary racing driver from the golden era of racing is actually black, which really kind of reinverts the kind of history of racing and kind of changes it to suit their own imagined universe that's in the film. The only criticism I can come up with really of the film is there's kind of two side characters, which is Speed's younger brother and his monkey friend, and they were just really irritating. All the 8-year-olds that were in the audience with me found them absolutely hilarious, but it was just excruciatingly painful for me. I didn't mind it so much, but there were two instances where they kind of popped up in the middle of really dramatic scenes and just kind of ruined the flow of the scenes. So if they were kind of, I understand that they're there, but if they were kind of cut down to smaller roles, then that would have been nice. So to sum up, Speed Racer is definitely a film worth watching. I'm aware it's probably not going to be on at the cinemas for too much longer. I saw it quite late, but yeah, it's fast, it's fun, it's really creative and clever. And it's just an interesting film to see. It's kind of something different that doesn't get made very often, a kind of film aiming at kids that can be still watched and enjoyed, especially on a technical side from adults and people interested in film, really. It might give some people motion sickness and it might not be to everyone's taste, but I certainly enjoyed it.